Welcome to the Connected Leaders Academy virtual conference designed to reshape your vision of transformation. As we navigate the evolving business landscape, our speakers will unveil innovative strategies to manage and initiate change. Prepare to adapt, innovate, and lead, ensuring your role in this transformative era.
Before we dive in, I want you to think about your current marketing efforts. Are you feeling overwhelmed, uncertain, maybe even a bit frustrated? Well, I can tell you, you are not alone. In my years of working with businesses across various industries, I've seen these feelings time and time again. But here's the good news. We're about to change that. Today, we're going to dive deep into the 3 biggest marketing mistakes I see business owners make, and more importantly, how to fix them. So are you ready to revolutionize your marketing? Let's get started. All right, so the first big marketing mistake I see a lot is throwing spaghetti at the wall. You know what I mean. It's when you're trying everything under the sun, hoping anything will stick. One day you're all about Facebook ads, then next you're convinced TikTok is the answer. The day after that, you're considering YouTube channel, launching a podcast, etc., etc., etc. This approach is like throwing your marketing budget into a blender and hitting puree. It's messy, it's wasteful, and let's be honest, it rarely works. But why do so many business owners fall into this trap? Often it's because they're feeling pressure to be everywhere at once. They see their competitors on every platform and think they need to be there too. Or they hear about a new marketing tactic that worked for others. So they jump on it without considering if it's even right for their business, for who they are, all of those things. And the problem with this approach is threefold. First, it spreads your resources too thin. You're trying to be a jack of all trades, but end up being a master of none. Second, it's exhausting. You're constantly chasing the next big thing, never giving any one single strategy time to really work. And third, it makes it impossible to know what's actually working. When you're doing everything, how can you tell which efforts are actually driving results? So how do we fix this? It's all about strategy. I'm talking about a real, honest to goodness plan. Here's what you got to do. First, figure out who you're actually talking to. Who's your ideal client? What keeps them up at night? What are their goals, fears, and challenges? Once you know that, you can figure out where they're hanging out online and what they want to hear from you. Now, this just isn't about demographics. It's about understanding their psychographics, their attitudes, aspirations, pain points, all the things that make them who they are. Next, we get a clear picture on what makes you stand out. Why should someone choose you over the competition? This is your secret sauce, and it needs to shine through in everything you do. So maybe it's your unique approach, your years of experience, or your exceptional customer service. Whatever it is, identify it and make certain it is central to all of your marketing messages. And now you're going to pick your platforms wisely. You don't need to be everywhere, just where your people are. If your ideal clients are busy professionals, LinkedIn might be your gold mine. If you're targeting creative millennials, Instagram could be your sweet spot. The key is to choose a few platforms where you can really shine rather than trying to maintain a mediocre presence everywhere. And please, 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 please set some goals for your campaigns. How else will you know if what you're doing is working? These should be SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Get more clients is not a SMART goal. Increase website leads by 25% in the next quarter is. Let's consider a nutritionist who's just starting out. Instead of trying to be everywhere at once, they might focus on creating mouth-watering, healthy recipe posts on Instagram. Why? Because that's where their busy, health-conscious potential clients are already scrolling for meal inspiration. They could create a content calendar focusing on seasonal ingredients, quick weeknight dinners, and meal prep tips. They might also start a weekly live Q&A session to engage directly with their audience. By concentrating their efforts, they could build a strong following of engaged users who are genuinely interested in their services. And then over time, they could expand to other platforms or tactics, but always with a clear strategy in mind. Remember, the goal isn't to do everything. It's to do the right things consistently and well. That's how you turn the spaghetti throwing chaos into a well-oiled marketing machine. Okay, it's time for mistake number 2. This one's a big one, and I see it all the time. It's what I call hating marketing, but doing it anyway. I get it. You started your business because you're passionate about what you do, not because you wanted to become a marketing guru, right? Maybe you're a brilliant therapist, a skilled attorney, or an innovative software developer. But here is the hard truth. Bad marketing is worse than no marketing at all. If you're grinding through social media posts with gritted teeth or writing blog articles that put even you to sleep, trust me, your audience can tell. And it's not doing your business any favors either. It's kind of like trying to play a guitar when you hate music. The result is going to be painful for everyone involved. This approach leads to several problems. First, your marketing efforts are inconsistent. You do it whenever you remember or when you can't avoid it anymore, which means your audience never knows what to expect from you. Second, the quality suffers. When you're doing something you hate, you're likely to rush through it or do the bare minimum. And third, it takes you away from the parts of your business you actually enjoy and excel at. So what's the solution? Delegate it to experts who love doing it. It's time to take a good, hard look at your marketing to-do list. What tasks make you want to tear your hair out? Those are the ones you need to hand off to someone else first. Maybe you dread writing blog posts, or perhaps the thought of creating social media content makes you break out in hives. Whatever it is, identify it and prepare to let it go. I know what you're thinking, but I can't afford to hire a marketing team. Here's the thing. You can't afford not to. Your time is valuable. Every hour you spend struggling with marketing is an hour you're not spending on the parts of your business you actually enjoy and are good at and that generate the revenue. It's an opportunity cost that can seriously hamper your business growth. And it doesn't have to be a full-time hire. Maybe you start with a freelance content writer or a part-time social media manager. Perhaps you invest in a marketing consultant who can create a strategy that you or your team can execute. The point is to get that marketing monkey off your back so you can focus on what you do best. Imagine a business coach who's spending hours every week writing blog posts. They hate every minute of it. And as a result, the posts aren't good. They're not engaging, they don't showcase the coach's expertise, and they certainly aren't bringing in new clients. Now, imagine if that same coach hired a copywriter who could capture their voice and expertise. Suddenly, they could have consistent quality content going out. The blog post would be engaging, packed with value, and effectively showcase the coach's knowledge. Plus, the coach would get back hours of their time to spend on revenue generation and actual coaching. You know, the thing they're great at and love doing. But delegation isn't just about offloading tasks you hate. It's about recognizing that marketing is a skill set in and of itself. Just like you wouldn't expect your clients to be experts in your field, you shouldn't expect yourself to be an expert in all aspects of marketing. When you delegate your marketing to experts, you're not just freeing up your time. You're also ensuring that your marketing is being handled by people who are passionate about it, skilled at it, and up to date with the latest trends and best practices. It is a win-win situation. So how do you start delegating? Begin by identifying the marketing tasks that are essential for your business, but that you either struggle with or dislike. Then research freelancers or agencies that specialize in those areas. Look at their portfolios, read their reviews, and don't be afraid to ask for references. Choose a few candidates that look good, interview them, and then give them a paid test to see if they really have the chops to do the work for you. Remember, the goal is to find someone who can not just do the tasks, but do them in a way that authentically represents your brand. It might take some trial and error, but once you find the right fit, you'll wonder how you ever managed without them. And in the end, delegating your marketing isn't just about making your life easier, although that's a nice bonus, right? It's about ensuring that your business is putting its best foot forward in the marketplace. It's about making sure that your marketing is as excellent as the products or services you provide. And that, my friends, is how you grow a thriving business. Okay, we're about to wrap it up with number 3. The last big marketing mistake is one that might make some of you break out in a cold sweat. Just giving you a little warning here. It's called not tracking your marketing metrics. Now, before you start having flashbacks to high school math class or college statistics, hear me out. I know numbers can be scary, confusing, and/or boring. But by flying blind with your marketing, it's even scarier. It's like trying to lose weight without even stepping on a scale or looking in a mirror. You're probably making progress, but you have no way of knowing for sure. And you have no way of knowing how much progress you're making and what things are working to make you lose that weight. So here's the deal. If you're not measuring what's working and what's not, you're wasting a lot of time and money. It's like throwing a party and not bothering to see if anyone shows up. Now, why would you do that? The whole point of the party is to have people show up, right? So why do so many business owners avoid tracking metrics? Often it's because they don't know where to start. The world of marketing metrics can seem overwhelming. There are so many things you could measure: website traffic, conversion rates, email open rates, social media engagement, customer lifetime value. The list goes on and on and on. It's enough to make anyone's head spin. Other times, business owners avoid metrics because they're afraid of what they might find. What if the numbers show that their marketing efforts aren't working? But here's the thing. If your marketing isn't working, wouldn't you want to know so you can fix it? So how do we fix it? It's actually simpler than you might think. We're going to start out small, just like all these other steps. Start little, get consistent, and then grow it from there. So the first step for fixing the metrics problem is to figure out what actually matters for your business. Is it website visits, email signups, consultation bookings? Pick a few key numbers that will tell you if you're on the right track. These are your key performance indicators, or KPIs. I don't know if you've heard that word floating around, and if you haven't, it's time to get a little bit serious about it because it's important. These KPIs should tie directly to your business goals. If your goal is to get more clients, then metrics like lead generation and conversion rates should be on your radar. Next, set up some simple tools to track these numbers. Google Analytics is free and super powerful, and it can track so many different data points in so many different ways. Once you get the hang of it, it will be your best friend for knowing what's working and not. But also, email and social media platforms usually have built-in analytics too. You're going to want to look at those. You don't actually need fancy software to get started. Begin with the tools you already have access to. Then the key is to actually look at these numbers regularly. Set a date with your data, maybe once a month, and bring your favorite beverage to the table to make it more fun. The point is, you have to make it a habit. Go so far as to block out the time on your calendar for it, just like you would any other important business task, or for that matter, any important business or life thing. If you want birthdays on your calendar, anniversaries on your calendar, those are important things in your personal life, right? So do the same thing with your business things that are important. And here is one of the most important pieces of this. Use what you learn to make decisions. If something is working, do more of it. If it's not, try to tweak it, fix it, or maybe try something different. But try something different one thing at a time. Don't go back into throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks. Your metrics should inform your strategy. They're not just numbers on a spreadsheet. They're valuable insights into what your audience responds to. So let's consider an attorney who starts tracking where their clients are coming from. They might discover most of their best clients find them through blog posts about recent changes in family law. So armed with that information, they could double down on creating more of this content and make sure it's prominently featured on their website. But that's not it. They can also start sharing snippets of it on social media. They can create a newsletter around it. They can create reels and stories. Now, granted, we're starting to get a little spread out there, but depending upon what platforms they use, they can spread this content out in those platforms to get the most visibility, to see if it works. But it doesn't stop there. They might also notice that while their email newsletter has a decent open rate, very few people are clicking through to their website. This could prompt them to revamp their email strategy, perhaps by including more valuable content directly in the email, or by crafting way more compelling calls to action that really inspire people to click that link, to go to the website, to go to the offer, to go to whatever it is that they want that person to see and buy or sign up for. This data-driven approach could lead to a significant increase in consultation bookings, and they'd be attracting more of their ideal clients, all because they started paying attention to their numbers. Remember, you don't need to be a data scientist to do this. You just need to start small and be consistent. Truly pick a few key metrics to focus on at first. As you get more comfortable, you can expand what you track. Because again, there's tons of things to track. You want to track the most important things first and expand out from there, because sometimes those most important things, those top 3 or 4 things, can actually be broken down into more detail so you can really understand why you're getting good numbers there. So think about that as you dive into this whole number thing. And don't just collect data for the sake of it. Always ask yourself, what action can I take based on this information? That's how you turn data into results. Tracking your metrics might seem a little extra work at first, but I promise you, it really is worth it. It takes the guesswork out of your marketing. Instead of going with what your competition is doing or following the latest trends blindly, you'll be making informed decisions based on what actually works for your business. Your metrics are like a compass, guiding your marketing efforts in the right direction. They help you invest your time and money wisely, focusing on the strategies that bring the best returns. And in the long run, that means more clients, more revenue, and a stronger, more successful business. And that's what we're here for. We're here to follow our passion, to have an impact in the world on our clients. And we can't do that if we're spending all of our time in the marketing zone, which is not our zone of genius. So there you have it. Let's recap these 3 biggest mistakes one more time. Number 1, throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks, or trying anything and everything, hoping something will work. It's definitely not the way to go. Define a strategy and get serious about step-by-step, repeatable results. Number 2, hating marketing but doing it anyway. In other words, grinding your way through content creation, social media, and all the other marketing tools that drive you crazy. You didn't start your business to be crazy over marketing, to do stuff you don't like doing, to do stuff you're not good at. So delegate it, get it off your plate, free up your mind and your time to do the things that matter, that generate revenue, that you're good at, and that you love doing. And then 3rd, not tracking your marketing metrics, or not knowing what's working and flying blind with your marketing. If you were to get on a plane, would you want your pilots to be blindfolded? When you get in the car with people, do you want the driver to be blindfolded? Well, heck, for that matter, when you get in the car, do you want to be blindfolded? Do you want to guess where you're going? Kind of like a GPS. How many of you use a GPS to go places? Tracking your metrics is like the GPS. Getting rid of these 3 mistakes and solving them is like that GPS to get from scattered marketing that's not working to repeatable, sustainable results that are easy for you to do because you're not doing it. So if you get a handle on these 3 areas, I promise you'll see a big difference in your marketing results. And hey, you might even like it. So remember, effective marketing isn't about following a strict rule book or copying what everyone else is doing. It's about finding strategies that work for your unique business and resonate with your specific audience. It's about being strategic, authentic, and data-driven. So here's my challenge to you. Pick one of these areas to focus on in the next month. Maybe you'll sit down and create a very defined marketing strategy. Or perhaps you'll identify one marketing task you can delegate and get off your plate. Or maybe you'll get really brave and choose 3 key metrics to start tracking regularly. Whatever you choose, commit to it. Take that first step, because even small changes in your marketing approach can lead to big results in your business. Now, get ready to shake up your marketing game. Your future success is waiting. Let's make it happen.
Thank you for participating in today's enlightening session. As we transition to our next expert, remember that each strategy and insight is a step toward becoming a transformative leader in your field. Visit connectedleadersacademy.com to stay engaged and informed. The journey of change is ongoing. Let's move forward together.